Welcome to the show. I'm so glad you could join us. Listen, this month is all about this year. I'm sorry, is all about the power of now. As I said, it's now, it's time for us to do what God has planted into you. And so I want you to live those dreams. And talking about dreams, we've got a great show planned for you. We are going to be talking with some phenomenal guests today. Fantastic, amazing. We have Lynn Demings, we have Pamela Parker, and Mr. Bob Williams, as well as Dr. Felicia Dennis. She's a city councilwoman out of Pennsylvania. And so you're going to meet all of them. And so I'm just glad that you joined us today. I hope you enjoyed the show. So I just want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy because it's coming up next. The Curry Insurance Agency has served the community for over 30 years with hundreds of trained representatives to assist you in selecting health plans. Curry Insurance Agency is the largest marketing insurance group in the state of South Carolina for Medicare Advantage and represents all major health carriers. Curry's motto is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Call the Curry Agency today at 803-536-0888. The Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum is the Palmetto State's first and only museum. It honors a generation of people, black and white, throughout the state of South Carolina who deserve to be remembered for their unselfish commitments and sacrifices. Enjoy an immersive and entertaining virtual tour. For more information, visit www.cecilwilliams.com. Welcome back to the show. I told you we've got a great show planned for you. I mean, when I talk about these women and when I think about them and also the gentlemen, how phenomenal they are and amazing, as I said, because this is Swing Into Their Dreams Foundation. So we're going to meet the founders, the CEOs or co-CEOs, Lynn Demings, Pamela Parker, and Mr. Bob Williams. I want you to come on out. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Bob.
Hello, Tammy. How are you?
Fine. Hey,
Hi,
Pamela.
Tammy. Hi,
Hey,
Tammy.
Bob. How are you all doing?
Oh, fine, thank you.
That's great. Well, listen, I'm so glad that you all could join us. It's Swing Into Their Dreams Foundation. And
Yes.
as I've been talking about the power of now living your dreams and, making those dreams become a reality. And I love what you all do with Swing Into Their Dreams. So I'm just going to start with you, Pamela. Just tell us a little bit about, for those that don't know, I know a lot about it, but Swing Into Their Dreams Foundation. Talk about that.
Yes, Swing Into Their Dreams Foundation was chartered in 2019, right before COVID. And it was started just as a general idea just to have a charity golf tournament, but it turned into this foundation that was created to provide a platform of support for our HBCU students. So what we do is we have our annual charity golf tournament at the Atlanta National Golf Club here in Atlanta. Actually, it's in Milton, Georgia. And the whole idea is to gather a group of HBCU alums, Greek organizations, business owners, and those that just love to golf, a lot of our retirees. And they come in one place for one day. And our goal is to raise scholarships for our HBCU students.
Wow. I tell you now, that's exciting because, I graduated from an HBCU, Pamela, and so just having that support for
Yes,
students is very important because you have a group of students that don't always have the resources and funds,
exactly.
especially being a first generation student. It's
Absolutely.
usually pretty hard. So, Lynn, let's talk about the scholarship piece of how the process and how that happens.
Sure. Well, thank you so much, Tammy. And I always like to say, guys, it's Lynn Demons. That's Demons, no demons here.
Demons.
As we talk about our scholarship process, the scholarships will be opening up. The application opens up in April. So it opens mid-April. You can go to our website, swingintotheirdreams.com. Students can apply. Once you apply, you submit your recommendation along with your application. And we close the application period in June. Decisions are made in July, and students are notified in August so that in the fall we can contact the colleges and send the checks.
Oh, wow. That's exciting. And so, Mr. Bob, I want to talk to you
Sure.
because you're working with these two powerful women. What is it like as the director of Swing Into Their Dreams to work with these two women and talk about your role as well?
Oh, super. First of all, let's hit that first piece first. Working with Pam and Lynn, it has been a true pleasure. I'll tell you, it warms me up pretty good because I'm looking at two sisters that are that have come out and want to just reach out and help. And I mean, and they've chosen an outstanding way of doing it because golfing right now is so popular,
Mhm.
and and it's a really good way to make a lot of money as well. So I'm having all the fun in the world. And I'll tell you, you got to be on your toes with Pam because she dots all the I's and crosses all the T's. It's so much fun.
That's
Now, as
funny.
far as the golf tournament is concerned, like Pam said, we will be playing over at Atlanta National. We're going off at 10 o'clock in the morning. Right now, we have a full house, so we are
Mm.
not able to bring anybody else on, and we have just a slate of things happening that's going to light up the city of Atlanta. I
Mm.
mean,
Yes.
from our celebrities to just even our volunteers are all excited. We did a walkthrough at the golf course last Saturday, and you should have seen all the people out there. You would have thought they came to work. I mean, it's just that's the enthusiasm that these ladies have generated around the Swing Into Their Dreams foundation. So again, I am truly honored and very, very pleased to be working with two very, very bright young people.
Wow, I know. I know when I first met Pamela and Lynn. I tell you what, I was like, wow, these women just, they just light up the room when you talk to them and just their passion for what they have been doing. I'm just blessed that you all were able to come on the show and share this. And hopefully, Tammy, we will be able to be there on the next go round if we can't come
Yes.
this year. So, talk about who you're expecting, what's happening. Because when you talk about golf, there are not a lot of African Americans that you usually associate with playing golf, number one. Number two, when you have um, the greens filled with African American and others as well, golfers, it says a lot about what's happening in the turn of the golf era. Mr. Bob, maybe you can address that. Um, as talking about African Americans playing golf and what that means and what is going to happen. What are they going to come into? What can they look forward to?
Oh, we I think we have laced it out pretty good. We've actually Pam and I were in a discussion today where we had to start scaling back some of the things we were doing because we want them to still play golf. But to give you an idea of some of the high end stuff, one of our players will be taking a shot to win $1 million at this tournament.
Mm,
Yeah, one of our players will be taking a shot to win $1 million. This our tournament, although we haven't really pushed this issue that much, but it's being looked at more like a vacation extravaganza. With the pandemic and people having to stay close knit for a
mhm,
while, well, folks are beginning now to loosen up a little.
mhm.
So we're going to be able to help some of these people take some super fantastic vacations from some of the packages we'll be giving out to our winners for certain things. We got putting contests going on. We have what we call an ace package. Now check this. One of our celebrities, and I'm not going to give her away, but one of our LPGA players is going to be
Mm.
on one of the holes, one of the par 3 holes, and she's going to substitute shots for people. So there's just a
Ooh,
slew of things that we have lined up that will be going on during that tournament.
wow. And so I know you're going to have mulligans.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Yes, those are important.
Yes, they are.
You have to have those. That's the only thing I know you can sell and you don't own.
That's
Yes. I'd also like to interject too. We have
please.
several retired NFL players that have decided to come and play.
Wow.
We also have the LPGA pros that are coming are African American women. And with this being Women's History Month, that is just, it's pertinent for our scholarship recipients to see LPGA pros coming to be on the golf course. We also have Morehouse Golf Team has confirmed. And so they're bringing 2 teams. And I was talking to their coach, Coach Bergson, yesterday. He told me that they've been winning their tournaments and they're doing very well. We also have a host of sponsors. We have their, speaking of the $1 Million Shootout, Freight Karma will be our sponsor for that. The LPGA is also sponsoring us this year. We have Certainty Home Loans will be sponsoring us this year. We have Real Estate Professional Services is sponsoring us this year. We have, Lynn, help me out. I'm thinking I should know these like the back of my head.
I know. Forget about Publix as well.
Yes.
Publix is
Yes.
sponsoring the snacks and drinks for all of our golfers
Yes.
this year
Yes.
as well.
Wow. Wow.
So, and then we also have Black Book Management. I'm sorry, Black Book Management, which will be doing our cars this year. And that's a Black owned luxury car company. And they will be putting, so most of the majority of the businesses on the golf course are Black owned.
Wow.
Yes.
That is wonderful.
Yes.
Congratulations. Congratulations to you all. Since the last time you were on the show in 2021.
Yes.
Yeah, 2021. You know, you get mixed up with 2019, then 2020 is a wash. But 2021, I mean, this is phenomenal. I mean, because I remember you all saying how you wanted it to grow. And look at this.
Yes.
So take plenty of pictures. Send me pictures.
Absolutely.
Please.
Absolutely.
So that lends me to my next question. And this is a question about challenge, because as you have been moving through the years, what has been your biggest challenge with running your nonprofit organization? See, people hear the story, but they don't know what happened before.
Well, I would like to say, as the, running the daily operation, the biggest challenge that we have is helping businesses understand the importance of HBCUs and the challenges that our HBCU students have. Once we cross that bridge, then they're all in. One of our major premier sponsors this year is an HBCU grad, and he is a real estate commercial developer here in the Atlanta area, and it's Alux Properties. And he has been in the forefront of helping us in providing scholarships for our HBCU students. Now, that's my challenge. So Lynn could probably give another.
Yeah, well, from this side of the table, I think the biggest challenge is finding the right people to sit at the table with you, because everybody can't go with you. Everyone loves the idea initially, and everyone is, yes, 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 I'm all in. But longevity, sustainability, and implementation with fidelity are
absolutely
opportunities for growth. Let's put it that way.
And I think that's with all nonprofits. As you move forward, you learn who's on your side and who's really going to put the work in. And I think people, when they get on boards and they think, well, my name is on the board, this is a great organization, but what they don't realize is there's work that has to be done.
Absolutely.
And the co-founders and CEOs cannot do all the work. The director cannot do all the work.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
said a
So
mouthful.
yes, yes. So I'm hoping anybody listening out there, if you are thinking about getting into a nonprofit organization, even with putting your name in the hat for Swinging to Their Dreams Foundation, uh, you got to work. You have to
That's
put in the
right.
work. Yeah. So now that leads me to my next question about students. Tell
Yes.
us about your your students. And I want to start with the very first recipient because we talked about this off the air. So I'd like for people
Yes.
to hear about your first recipient.
I cannot say I am busting with just pride for them. I just absolutely, we love our kids. And our first student was Noble Kemp. He is a junior at Morehouse College. When he came to us, it was right at COVID. And he was one of the displaced HBCU students that had to go home. I don't know if a lot of people are aware, but a lot of our HBCU students, when they left the dorm, some of them weren't able to go home. They didn't have a home to go to, and they were left homeless. They were living in U-Haul trucks. And so it was extremely important for us to ensure that Noble had the support that he needed during that time when he had to go home. However, because of the support we were able to provide him, he stayed focused. He went and took classes online. A lot of the times during our volunteer meetings, he would be online doing his homework. And now he has just been accepted to study abroad in Africa, and he will be leaving later this spring. And we are just elated at his progress. He's an A student. I mean, he's just doing phenomenal. He's doing absolutely wonderful. We're so proud of him.
And then you also have a graduate that's getting
Yes.
ready to graduate. Talk
Yes,
about
yes.
him.
Yes. Okay. So our student that's graduating, our first student, I'm just so proud of him. Michael Cortez, Morehouse student studying psychology, and he will be graduating in May. And he is also an A student. He will be graduating with honors. And so we are extremely proud of him. He was our scholarship recipient for 2021. And so he will be at the tournament. He shows up at the volunteer, meetings. He came to our benevolence brunch back in December. And he spoke to our supporters and to our sponsors. Very articulate young man and grounded, and he is going to go very far.
Wow. Kudos. I love it. I love it. And so, Lynn, talk about this year, about how many students and I'm going to say how many students you all are going to be able to bless that you would like to.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes. We would love to bless a minimum of 10 students this year. Our first year, we were able to bless one student. We went to 3. Now we want to 10x it to borrow, right? We want to at least be able to provide 10 scholarship opportunities. So that means that we need to get it in high gear during the tournament to make sure that we are sharing, that our golfers are sharing and donating. And those of you who are listening and watching, that you also can donate to Swinging to Their Dreams. Go to our website and you'll be able to donate there. Or you can send us a connection through email at swingingtotheirdreams@gmail.com. And we'll follow up with you there.
That's great. So we're going to take a pause because you brought a commercial with you and we want to show that commercial.
Calling all HBCU alumni, supporters, and golfers. It's that time of year again. Yes, the HBCU Swing Into Their Dreams Charity Golf Tournament on Tuesday, April 5th. If you missed the last one, you have time once again to be epic. Don't miss the golf tournament of the year. The Swing Into Their Dreams HBCU Charity Golf Tournament at the Atlanta National Golf Club in Milton, Georgia, Tuesday, April the 5th. Registration begins now. Sign up your golf teams at swingintotheirdreams.com. That's swingintotheirdreams.com or call 770-686-7148. That's 770-686-7148. Don't miss it.
I love it. I love it.
That was pretty good.
Voice. I heard that. Beautiful voice over. Wow.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Oh, sure. Listen, so the viewers that are listening, we want to make sure that they go to swingintotheir dreams.com. And so that way they can make donations and they can help, because I want to find out there are couple of things. But one thing is, when you start planning, do you start planning now, even though you're in this tournament? Do you start planning now for next year? How does that work?
Yes, actually, we've already started for 2023. I mean, the wheels are already in motion.
Mhm.
There are several pieces that go into making sure that we have a successful tournament. And we encourage all of those corporate sponsors that want to get involved. Please reach out and contact us. We know that your fiscal year begins in the summer. And so we are accessible and available. If a phone call is warranted, if we need to do a Zoom call, if we need to show up at your office, or you'd like to come to us, it would be our pleasure to host you with a business lunch and to express to you our vision and our mission. So you can, again, our website is swingintotheir dreams.com. Our email address is swingintotheir dreams@gmail.com. Or you could call us 770 686 7148. That's 770-686-7148.
Okay, got it. Okay. Tiana, we'll put that up at the end. So not the last question, but this is a big question, because I want to know what's next for Swinging to Their Dreams. Future plans. Talk about it.
Awesome, awesome. So for future plans, we would love to take everything that we're learning from the game of golf and with financial literacy to help our students as they move forward. Because at the end of the day, if we're not helping our students to be able to build generational wealth, then we're missing the mark. Oftentimes, our students are challenged economically with going to college. They're also challenged economically in being able to pay for college and to graduate. So being able to help them to pull all of those pieces together is what we plan to do by providing them programs to help them learn, how do I budget, save, invest, buy a home? How do I learn how to do all of these different things and adult at the same time, right? A lot of missing pieces from our current educational system that are very important for us as we move forward. So we want to provide an opportunity that can be game changing for our students, so that we no longer have to, depend upon others and have students to live below the poverty line. How do we move to the next? And then not only moving to the next ourselves, but also building that generationally and passing it along.
That's right. That's right. Passing the torch. And then I also hear you have another program as well. Pamela, was that the mentor?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are. We work very hard to make sure that our students are connected, because Lynn and I are entrepreneurs. We've been in the corporate world prior to being entrepreneurs. Lynn is actually in the educational system now. I have my own real estate firm. I mean, we are constantly networking with business owners, and there are job opportunities that come across our desk. And so we'd like to connect our students to those mentors that are looking for graduating seniors, or looking for internships, or they have job openings that a lot of times we hear, well, we can't find the qualified African-American candidate. Well, yes, you can. Swing Into Their Dreams has a host of them, and we would love to introduce you to our qualified, intelligent, intellectual, and career-minded and focused students. So yes, we are working very hard to also increase our real estate development program, so that when they get out of college, They know how to purchase a home and what are the what are the pieces that they need to put in place in order to do that as well. So yes, there's a lot of different pieces that we're still developing and putting into place, but it's coming together.
Wow, I tell you what, that's really something, because you do not have a lot of organizations that take the time to mentor their students. People talk about it, but they're not about it.
Mm.
And that's the one thing that I love when I talk with the both of you, as well as you, Mr. Bob,
I'm
uh,
here.
about what's next, because you're taking it to a whole nother level. And it's about helping our students. It really is. It's about helping the next generation, as Lynn said, to be able to take care of yourself, be able to buy a home, know your budget, because a lot of students don't. They just spend money. Well, we know that with young
Absolutely.
people anyway. That's
Yeah.
right. And so, Mr. Bob, what's
Yes.
next as the director and moving into the tournament? What do you see next?
Oh, the Pam and I were talking a little bit today. This this idea that they came up with is taking on a whole life all by itself, and it's beginning to
Yes.
grow into other things. So there are some things that we're just on the front end of talking about, but taking this show on the road and seeing if
Mm,
we can do it other places and be as successful as we are in this place. So there's a lot of opportunities there for us to consider, and we are definitely doing that. And we'll just see which one grab roots and take off.
that's right. Well, there are 8 HBCUs right here in South Carolina. So let's think about
There we
expanding.
go.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I would love to be a part of it in
And
some
we would
form.
love to have you, Tammy.
Yeah,
We really
that
would.
that is, I mean, now that is something.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That is something. Yeah. So I want to ask you a question. We're talking about HBCUs. Do you have any of the other presidents, any presidents join the tournament at one point or another? HBCU presidents?
We have been diligently working to provide connections with HBCU faculty and staff. That is a work in progress. We did connect with some advisors and staff members of South Carolina State earlier this year. Of course, we have Morehouse. Of course, Texas Southern, we have a couple of them. But that's something that we have been, it's like, that's on the forefront of what we need to continue to work on. And as Bob was saying, when we begin to start to go into other cities, possibly, hopefully, that is something that, yes, we are aspiring to do. So those, faculty and staff of HBCUs, we would welcome to have an audience with you so that we can figure out how we could effectively collaborate for the benefit of our HBCU students.
Right. Well, let me know. Let me know.
I
Yeah.
definitely will.
Let me know. Yes. And so the last question is about, I always ask this, the 3 words that describe you. And so we're talking about the organization. So it's 3 of you. So I'd like for you to describe Swing Into Their Dreams. Three words.
So we like to call it EPIC. I know that's 4, Tammy. Empowerment through philanthropy in the community. That's our mission. And I think that sums up Swing Into Their Dreams very well. We want to empower our students. We want to be able to provide a threshold for philanthropy, and we want it to remain in our communities. How do we help to better our communities?
Okay. I'm writing all this down because I put it in my journal. So it's epic empowerment through philanthropy. Is that what you said, Lynn?
Yes.
All right, I got it. Wow, you all are amazing. I love it. I love it. I could talk to you all night long, but we don't have all night. Not tonight. Pam and I will be talking later, and that'll be a longer conversation than Lynn. But I really enjoyed this. Mr. Bob, it was a pleasure meeting you and having you on the show.
Oh, the pleasure was all mine, Tammy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can tell you're a powerhouse all on your own.
Yes, he is. Yes, he
Don't
is.
get my head too big.
well, listen, I want to thank you all so much, Lynn Demings. Not. What did you say, Lynn?
I said,
Not
demons, no demons
It's
here.
Demons,
Yes.
Pamela Parker, and Bob Williams. Thank you so much for being on the show, and may God continue to bless you in everything that you're doing. And I know this tournament is going to be just like the Super Bowl of tournaments.
Thank you so
Okay.
much for having us,
Yeah.
Tammy.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you. You all take care. I look forward to talking with you again soon.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye. Wow. I tell you what, I'm excited every time I have Pamela and Lynn on the show, and now Mr. Bob on this show. It just fills my heart because what they're doing is helping children. And that's what we need to do, folks. So remember, swing into their dreams. That's swingintothirdreams.com. Telephone number is 770-686-7148. Again, that's 770-686-7148. Thank you so much, Tiana. Swingintothirdreams.com. We'll be right back. The Curry Insurance Agency has served the community for over 30 years with hundreds of trained representatives to assist you in selecting health plans. Curry Insurance Agency is the largest marketing insurance group in the state of South Carolina for Medicare Advantage and represents all major health carriers. Annual enrollment for Medicare Advantage is October the 15th through December the 7th. Curry's motto is people don't know how much you know until they know how much you care. Call Curry Insurance Agency today at 803-536-0889. The Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum is the Palmetto State's first and only museum. It honors a generation of people, black and white, throughout the state of South Carolina who deserve to be remembered for their unselfish commitments and sacrifices. Enjoy an immersive and entertaining virtual tour. For more information, visit www.cecilwilliams.com. Welcome back to the show. I told you we've got a great show planned for you. I've been having some phenomenal women on, and this phenomenal woman, I met her by phone and online. And when I tell you she is phenomenal, she is. This is Women's History Month, and I wouldn't have it any other way than to have her on. She is a city councilwoman for Pennsylvania. She's in Pennsylvania. She'll tell us what district, what city. She's also a clergy member, a youth pastor, the owner of Felicia's Taekwondo, Thou Art and Nature Products, and she's a community activist. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to Dr. Felicia O.A. Dennis. Come on out, Dr. Felicia.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, it is wonderful to have you on the show. Well, when I tell you, you have all of these wonderful accomplishments that you have been doing, I'm just excited that you came on the show. And I forgot to say that your African name is Fatima Mansoure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Dr. Felicia, let's talk. Tell us a little bit about who Felicia O.A. Dennis is in your short version.
So Felicia O.A. Dennis is first of all, a woman of God and a servant to the people. And I love doing what I do. Everything that I actually do or what you have just described or listed, they are passions. And anything to do with serving the people is where I like to be.
Wow. And the other thing that I forgot to mention is you served in the military.
Yes.
And the Marines. And so I want to again thank you for your service to our country, because that says a lot, especially when you give of your time to help save us as a country. And so again, thank you for that. So I want to ask you a couple of things that come to mind. First of all, we talk about being the city councilwoman.
Yes.
What sparked you or influenced you to run to even be a part of city council?
So just growing up, my mother had us involved in our community um, a lot. Uh, she was always out in community, whether it was cleaning, being involved. And so being going back to the people, just making sure that I can be a positive voice for the people, not only positive but a powerful voice for the people within our community at this point, and with us being in the 21st century, 2022, and the different issues and concerns that are going on
Mhm.
politically.
Wow. And one of the things is you are in Pennsylvania, and I did not say what city and what district. Share that with us, please.
So I am in the city of York, Pennsylvania, and we are actually Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, is the capital, but York was the first capital of Pennsylvania. So that just gives you a little bit of history of where I'm at. I'm at in the Rose State, the White Rose City.
That's right.
So that's where I am located at.
Wow. And one of the things about being city council is you have to deal with a lot of politics. And how is that for you? And being a African American woman, how have you found that to be, and using that to help the community?
So I did my oath January the 4th, so I am a new newbie at this point. Um, but it's an amazing experience for the first 3 months. I should say that it's a lot of work, but as I said before, I knew what I was signing up for, and I'm here uh, for the task.
Wow.
And it's exciting to be able to
Mhm.
learn on a whole nother level, which is the political level um, for our community.
That's right. Because there are a lot of changes that hopefully you'll be able to help write some policies to change things that are happening in the
Absolutely.
community. Even though you said you're a newbie, but still, you have that power and
Yes,
fight in you to
absolutely.
to make things happen. So that brings me to the point of you being a councilwoman, but I
Hmm.
also talked about you owning your business.
Hmm.
So let's talk about the first thing, which is Felicia's Taekwondo, because I took Taekwondo in college.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So Felicia's Taekwondo Karate Studio LLC launched in 2001, actually.
Mhm.
Um, and I started martial arts at the tender age of 6 years old, and pretty much started within the home. One of um, my brother Douglas Williams, was studying under Grandmaster Gary Hopkins, which ended up being my grandmaster later on. So I've been studying since I was 6. I received my black belt at 12 years old because I was so consistent as far as wanting to learn and picking up a skill.
Mhm.
So I've been doing that. And as I said, I started my own business. My grandmaster blessed me and launched me out with my own name. His
Wow.
karate studio was called Hopkins Taekwondo. But he said to me, "No, I want you to call your school what you want it to be, because one day I'm not going to be here." And I stand here today to say that's true, because he passed some about 5 years ago.
Oh,
Um, and I'm still doing what he told me I would be doing.
wow. And so Felicia's Taekwondo, we have a picture that we want to show of you teaching your students.
Yes.
Um, Look at that. So you are black belt, red belt, orange belt. You're all of that and in between, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, I mean, when you talk about the degrees of belts in Taekwondo,
Yes.
you have the highest belts. Am I correct in saying that?
I don't have the highest belt, but I am a master. So I have a fifth degree black belt. Some of the people that's above me are like 10th degrees.
Ooh,
So I have, I've been in this for a while. So I have reached 5 of those degrees. And hopefully
wow.
I can reach a little more. But if not, I've reached the master level.
Right. And how young are the children that you teach?
So I start at the tender age of 4. However, if I have parents that bring their children to me and they're maybe 3, but they're a mature 3,
Mhm.
I will take that child into my karate studio.
And how long have you been doing this, Felicia?
So I've been doing this now. I'll be 42 May 6th. So I've been doing this now 30 plus years. 30 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dr. Felicia, I mean, that's amazing because you don't hear of many African American masters
Hmm.
in Taekwondo. I don't know
Yes.
if you're one of the few, and you can share with us and let us know because you may be one of the first.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you said that because I have not met a lot of master females as far as African Americans. Um, Being an African American, I do know two sisters though that I am a part of the Pennsylvania Hall of Fame with,
Hmm.
and one is in Harrisburg. I think they're both in Harrisburg actually, but they are African American. So yes, I do know a few sisters that
Wow.
have weathered the storm.
Wow. Hall of Fame.
Yes,
Talk about that. The Hall of Fame. So is this a Hall of Fame for Taekwondo?
yes. So this is a Hall of Fame, Pennsylvania Hall of Fame. Actually, it's for Taekwondo, but it's actually the martial arts overall. So
Mm.
it can be Taekwondo, it can be
Karate.
Shotokan, it can
Hmm.
be all kinds of different styles. But it's everybody across the state of Pennsylvania.
Wow. Congratulations. I'm
Yes.
talking to a Hall of Famer. Wow. Dr. Felicia, let's talk about the balance
Yes.
because how do you juggle all of that? You're an owner of the
Mhm.
Felicia's Taekwondo. You have Thou Art and Nature Products, African Americans First Sundays. How do you juggle that as well as being a councilwoman?
So um so pretty much everything that you just listed, Thou Art and Natural Products, and Felicia's Taekwondo Karate Studio LLC. Um and then even the African American First Fridays. Um, we I pretty much juggle it. I lean on God for strength. Let me say
Mhm,
that first. Okay.
mhm.
Many people ask me, "Do you sleep?" And I tell them that I sleep when I need to sleep. However, I believe that I'm here to make an impact within this world. So I do rest. I take
Mhm.
time. And then as far as the city council being added on to that, it's an add-on to what it is that I've been doing. So I pretty much I make time. So I try to schedule things like how we put this together.
Right.
I try to keep a schedule that I remember what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mhm.
So that's how I try to keep the balance. And also sometimes I'll pull away. Um,
Mhm.
I put myself on respites. I don't know if you know that. You know what that is?
No,
Um,
I just tell me what respite
okay,
is. I
so a
probably
respite.
do it.
So a respite. Okay, so I'm tapping into being a little transparent of my childhood. So at a certain time of my life, I found myself in the system,
Mm.
meaning foster care system.
Mhm.
And when foster parents used to, need a break, they needed a break or time to themselves away from those foster children, they would send us away on a respite.
Respite care.
So they would
Okay.
respite care. So they would send us somewhere or to another foster parent home for a few days or a week or however long they might have been on vacation or something.
Mhm.
So I've taken that in my own life. And so when I need time or I
Yes.
need rest or I just need to take a vacation, I call that my respite.
Got you. So I did know what respite meant.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, because you hear that term when you're
Yes.
taking care, when a caregiver is
Uh-huh.
taking care of a loved one,
Right.
and they have respite care. So they
Absolutely.
send them off, take them to someone's home or
Uh-huh.
to a care or something where they get that time just to chill out.
Right.
But being a busy woman as you are, sometimes that's easier said than done, but I'm glad to see that you tie it into everything that you do.
I have to. I have
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
And
Most
people probably never heard it being used like that,
hmm
but it's like you said, most times you hear that when loved ones are taking care of others. Well, we have to take care of ourselves in
that's
order to
right.
do what we do. So that's where that comes from for me.
That's wow. And you shared a lot. And thank you for being transparent
Yes.
about being in foster care.
Mhm.
Because one of the questions that comes to mind is what did you learn from being in foster care that you have used in your life now or to help
Um,
others?
so being in foster care, the whole situation was a little strange,
Mhm.
or whatever you want to say.
Yes.
System came in, my mother chastised my brother, snatched us away. Um, and so I ended up in a place that was a little unsafe for me,
Mm-hmm.
several places. And at this point in my life, I was just saying to someone earlier, I actually just did another interview for the school earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of was transparent to the students and letting them know that part of my life. And what I learned from that is, no matter if you find yourself in the system, and we call system different things, whether it's prison, foster care, um, different things. So
Mm-hmm.
no matter if you find yourself there, um, it's still possible that you can become who you want to become, or who
Exactly.
God intends for you to be. Let me say that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right. Wow. Um, that's powerful. I'm sitting here thinking about all that you have done and everything, even being in the Marines. What are some of the lessons that you use from your training of being in the Marines in your life now?
So the what I actually did was, um, so I served with Military Sea Lift Command.
Mm,
So Military Sea Lift Command is they're down in the Norfolk Army, off of the Norfolk Army base.
mhm,
Um, and so they work closely with the Coast Guard and the Navy, actually.
mhm,
So what I've learned there, um, is so many different things. I've actually traveled and lived in Italy during that course of my life, almost 2 years. I had the opportunity of uh, doing ministry with the civilians and um, military officers and soldiers while I was there on the ship with them. But I learned a lot of different things. Living in a whole other country, how to survive with your family being thousands and thousands and thousands
that's
and
right.
thousands of miles away. But I learned that I can, anything I put my mind to, I can do. That's really what I learned
Mhm,
from those
mhm,
different experiences and being on different teams. Uh, I was on the command ships. The USS Mount Whitney ship was
mm,
just known as our command ship there. And
mhm.
I was just saying earlier that I know that they're probably out on the waters with what is going on with
All right.
Ukraine and
Mhm,
Russia. And I know I'm
mhm.
not going to say I'm sure. I think they are. I know they
No,
are.
they are. That's right.
And so I remember days being on that ship, and I remember days being out on the sea and being in the water, and seeing different things,
Mhm,
submarines picking up. So every day out there, it was a great experience, but my life was in danger 24 hours a day.
mhm.
So the thing is, I'm grateful for that opportunity, and also working. And some of you hear of Strike Force NATO. So I was
Yes.
able to meet different officers and things. I was working on a special team with
Mhm.
them as well. So when they came on the ship, so I've done a lot. Some things I can't really tap into, but
Right.
that was that was a great experience.
Wow. I mean, and just talking with you, and looking at your life now and all the things that you are involved in, I can see that determination and how all of that brings you full circle,
Hmm.
as we say, and we have Americans First Sundays, but it's American First Friday. So I'm
Yes,
sorry
ma'am.
for the
It's okay.
correction. We will
Yes.
we will correct that.
Yes.
So we can know that it's American First Friday. So I want you to talk about Americans First Friday.
All right. So American First Friday um, pretty much came about. We had two students. So let me back up just a little bit. This was around the season of when George Floyd was killed, and protesting and everything was going on. And I was one of the major activists here in my community at that time, protesting pertaining what was happening with the George Floyd murder.
Hmm.
So a little bit after that, we had two of our students. that was out. They were playing out on the basketball court, and two of them were shot. A female
Mm,
and a male. So a cousin of mine,
mm,
Carrie Glover, we were in conversation
mhm,
about what could we do um, to be able to host something for the youth of our community, not just the youth of our community, but our Black young men and Black young women, because of the crime and shootings that we were having here in York, Pennsylvania.
mhm,
So we got together. We were talking one day on the park, and we was talking about we was actually feeding them hot dogs. We brought out a grill and had some other guys there with us and young ladies there, just in support to show that, okay, you guys are coming into our community, which is your community, on the parks, and you're doing open shootings and you're
mhm,
hitting people. So we
mhm,
had, what we did was we had an open presence, meaning that we came so that they seen us there with them. Um, and so what came about was what can we do? So typically in York, they do something called First Fridays. And in
oh,
several places, they have it in other cities. But, unfortunately, a lot of the community felt like that was not built for um, our African Americans or brown people,
mhm,
and that they were not welcome down there. So what we did was, we didn't exclude any culture, but we
mhm,
named it African American First Fridays. And we
wow,
built it as grassroots. We built it specifically for small business owners or someone that had a business idea but did not launch it yet. So
mhm,
a few or it's possibly a good number of businesses launched out of African American First Fridays, and they're now fully functioning. So
mm,
that's how that came about. And actually, we're getting ready to have an opportunity to start indoors um,
mhm,
on April 1st, which is April Fool's Day. So it's not a joke, but it is happening right down in downtown York area. Typically, we do it at Penn Park, which is a historical park. And if you look that up in York City, it's the biggest park in the inner city. So that's where we host our main events in the summertime when it's warm. But we've
mhm.
been offered an opportunity with another Black-owned business to bring us indoors for the cooler months.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're gonna do that on April the 1st. So we have some vendors from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, York, Pennsylvania, different places. People contacted me from Maryland, and that's the vision, to grow it
Wow.
not just for our city, but to have it like something like the AFRAM that they have.
Mhm,
Um, you
mhm.
know, but have it here. So that's what we've been doing with that.
Wow. That's exciting. I think that's something we need to bring down here as well.
Let's do it.
All right. I'm going to call you about that. We're going to talk about how to
Let's
get it
do it. I'm
organized.
looking
And
to make a trip.
I would love to have that happen down here.
I'm looking to make a
So
trip.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I love it. So we've been talking about everything that you've been doing, but I want to know, what's your biggest accomplishment thus
So
far?
oh man, never been asked that question before. But so I would say my biggest accomplishment right now is having going through school to accomplish my doctor's degree in theology.
Mm,
Being able to study the Word of God and become more knowledgeable. Not that I know everything about the Bible, because I don't. Even though I have a doctor's degree, I don't know everything. But that's one of my biggest accomplishments. First, I have several. I don't know if you want
mhm.
those.
No,
That
tell us.
will be
Yes.
first in line, because I got that
Uh-huh.
in 2020. And then my next one would be becoming the first elective official in my immediate family.
Mm,
And I'm not sure how far out in my family that goes, but that's an amazing accomplishment
mhm.
to be able to serve our community in the political realm as well. And then third, being a Black-owned businesswoman doing great things with multiple businesses. I don't just have one, but I have multiple businesses, and they are in the stage where they're starting to flourish. And so,
Hmm.
yes.
That ain't nothing but God. They will call you a serialpreneur.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's what that is when you have multiple
Wow.
businesses. I learned that from a serialpreneur,
Hmm.
entrepreneur.
Okay.
And he had several. I mean, he's got like 15 businesses,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's what they call and starting and helping other people,
Mm-hmm.
just as you are doing.
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
and so one of the things, Dr. Felicia, is I want to find out, because you have been doing a lot. What
Mm-hmm.
woman influenced you as you were growing up?
Woo, that's a great question right there. My mother. My
Mm,
mother influenced me. Number one, she was my queen mama. She
mm,
influenced me because some of the things you see me doing, as a matter of fact, Thou Art and Natural Products
mm-hmm,
um, is a business that continued after she birthed her business of having her children. She taught us how to be entrepreneurs because my mom used to do um, mobilely with her children. We used to sell oils, incense, clothes, Easter basket, all kinds of stuff
mm-hmm.
on the streets of York. And so my mom would be the woman that influenced me. And actually, she's no longer here with us, so she's now known as an ancestor. But she is the one that keeps me going, and I want to make her proud. And not only that, there's our other ancestors. I want to make them proud too. So I
Mm-hmm.
strive hard for the ones that have already paved the way for us, but are no longer here.
Yeah, wow. And as you're talking about that, when we talk about ancestors, and I did introduce you earlier as Fatima Mansoure.
Yes.
Talk about your trip to Sierra Leone, and your name and what it means, and what you're doing to perpetuate that, all that's going on, in the world, in the culture, and what you're doing to further that into future generations.
Yeah. So my name came from I had a sister here, me and Chief O'Day's sister, one of our biological sisters that passed back in 2018. And so I took a trip over to Africa, December 20, um, was it December 20? Yes, December 2020
Mm-hmm.
into 2021. So I
Uh-huh.
stayed there for Christmas and New Year. But my name came about because I met after uh, going to the village and meeting my family in Africa. I had an Antoine Fisher moment. Let me
Oh,
say that. It
yes.
was beautiful to see the elders from the youngest to the oldest setting before you and welcoming you home. But my name came about because there was a sister that I met there that looked like my sister, and her
Wow.
name was Fatima. So
Mm,
that's what they said. They said, we're going to give you the name. You're going to be named after this sister here.
wonderful.
So that's where that name came from. But my experience in Africa was amazing. And like I was saying about a month ago when I was on the Gullah Leone show,
Mm-hmm.
is that don't allow anyone to tell you what Africa is or what they do not have.
Mm-hmm.
I really suggest that everyone take the time to be able to try to make that trip to the Holy Land and to experience it for yourself. I had
Yes.
an amazing time. I was with the community, um, which we would call people that live in poverty, all the way to the state house with the president.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Wow.
had an amazing trip. I visit beautiful beaches and came in contact with some churches and a lot of young people. So I'm looking forward to going back, and I
Wow.
would love to take people with me.
Well,
And
I put me on that list.
yes,
Put me on that list,
yes,
because
ma'am.
I have not been to Sierra Leone,
Yes,
but I've traveled there, so I put me on that list.
absolutely. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I tell you what, I have enjoyed this interview. I could talk to you a whole nother hour.
There's so much
Uh,
more. Yes,
but there is so many
yes,
layers to you. I mean,
yes, ma'am.
even from talking about you being a pastor, being in the church,
Yes,
but you have shared that, and how God has been working in your life and what He's
yes,
doing in your life to help other people, and it's evident
hmm,
that God has just blessed you and
yes,
given you these visions, and so that you can carry on.
absolutely.
But I do have to ask you two more questions,
Okay.
and we're going to close out. One question is the advice that you would give, the takeaway that you would give to the viewers.
So the takeaway that I would give to the viewers is pretty much, what I've learned in life is to stay consistent. Consistency is key. Consistency is key. Not only consistency, but stay humble. We have to remain humble, because then that's when God can trust you to continue to do more. And then stay focused, because there's a lot that's going on around us, and we can get sidetracked and pull left to the right or forward or backward. But if we stay focused, we will stay on that narrow road that we're supposed to be on to make that impact within life. And then lastly, follow your dreams. Follow every dream that you might have had in your youth.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're older, follow those dreams, no matter how old you get or how young you may be. Follow those dreams, and don't let anyone tell you that you cannot accomplish them.
Wow. Dr. Felicia, last thing,
Yes,
3 words that describe you.
and I'm gonna go back to consistency is key.
Mm-hmm.
So consistency describes me. Faithful, because I'm a faithful believer of God, and I'm a sower to the world.
A sword to the world. I love it. I love it. Consistency. You're consistent,
Yes,
faithful, and a sword to the world.
yes,
Wow, Dr. Felicia, I tell you what, this has been a great interview. I
yes,
have
ma'am.
enjoyed talking with you. I mean, you are doing it. And I pray that anyone that's looking at this and the other women that are looking at this will glean from what you have shared with us today.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So you be blessed. And thank you again. Thank you for being on the Tammy Show. And if there's anything that we can do here,
Yes, ma'am.
um, please let us know. And I'm looking forward to talking with you about African American First Friday.
African American First Friday in South Carolina. Listen, I'm loving it already.
Yeah, come on down. Come on
Yes, ma'am.
down.
Let's do it. I'm serious. Let's make it happen.
All right, we will do that. Dr. Felicia O.A. Dennis,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's an
All right,
honor.
take care.
Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Wow. When I tell you we've had some phenomenal guests for Women's History Month, Dr. Felicia O.A. Dennis, she's doing it, and she's in Pennsylvania, York, Pennsylvania. So if you go online, visit her, you can see what she's doing. I can't wait for her to come down and visit with us. I want to thank all of my earlier guests. I want to thank Swing Into Your Dreams, of course, Miss Pamela, Miss Lynn, and Mr. Bobby. We just thank you, Mr. Bob Williams. Thank you so much for being on the show. That's Swing Into Their Dreams Foundation. So I want to thank again viewers for always tuning into Tammy. You make it possible for us to do it. I love your emails, your texts, your phone calls. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Continue to do what you're doing. And next week, we're going to be speaking with a young lady. And I'm telling you, she's powerful. Her name is Kristen Thomas. She's an attorney. She's a motivational speaker, inspirational speaker, and she's coming to tell us a few things during Women's History Month. And of course, I want to thank Angel, our poetic angel, for being on the show as well. And again, my assistant producers, who you can't see, but they're in the control room. That's Tiana, Felicia, and which is spelled kind of like Felicia as well, Felicia, and Willie. Listen, thank you all for always doing what you do. And I want to thank my assistant producer as well, my associate producer and executive producer, Alicia, my sister. I want to thank you. I tell you what, this has been a great show. So remember, take care of yourselves, believe in what you're doing, and live out those dreams. It's the power of now. Do it now, okay? And I've been wearing my mask and washing my hands and social distancing, but it's up to you. Just be safe and be well. That's the biggest thing. Until the next time, God bless you. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.